Yo. So, comparison, you know, the quote, what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy. I think that's it, right? I don't know. Okay, so for me, I see two ways. You know, comparison isn't fundamentally a bad thing. So we can use comparison for inspiration. We can see what we don't have that others do, and we can use that as inspiration for us to better ourselves and whatnot. And then we can also use comparison as a way to bring ourselves more down. So especially in this day and age, it's, you know, comparison is everywhere. It's especially with social media, just the connectedness that we share in this day and age. So where does it stem from, when we compare ourselves to others and we put others on a pedestal? So that comes from a feeling of unworthiness, a feeling of lack, a feeling of not being good enough. And when we have that feeling of not being good enough, or feel like we're lacking something, naturally when we look at others and see what they have that we don't have, it triggers that unworthiness within us. And when that comes up, we all have the choice to either go further down in that and let comparison take us down further and root us more in that unworthiness, or we can see that unworthiness as a blessing, in that it's showing us where we're holding on to that lack energy, we're holding on to that unworthiness, and that we need to build that. Well, we need to bring awareness, first of all, to that unworthiness within us, and then transmute it. And when you... it's a kangaroo. When you bring light to that falsity of lack and unworthiness, because that's what it's rooted in. It's an illusion. We are inherently worthy. We are inherently whole as beings of the divine. We are inherently worthy, and we've tricked ourselves into believing that we are unworthy. So first of all, we need to bring a light to that, and life triggers us with people and events that show us our insecurities, and we can see that as either a blessing or a curse. And if we see it as a curse, we just feed into that and give it power over ourselves, and we feed that energy of lack and it builds. Or we can see life triggering us through people and events, we can see that insecurity that comes up, we can see that as an opportunity to work on that and more work on your insecurities and bring light to them and remove that from your life. And when you do that, naturally you naturally start to feel more confident and worthy in your own experience. But it takes you actually facing those insecurities of lack and unworthiness. And a lot of it is unconscious tendencies. Like, we don't even notice that we're, in our everyday experience, we're watching people and comparing, and we can even compare as to say, like, we're better than someone else. And that's just rooted in ego. And then we'll see, we could see someone that we perceive as lower than us, and then it'll boost up that false ego confidence, and then a couple minutes later we can see someone that's looks like they've got it all going on, and then boom, you're down here, you're down, so that just shows you that, like, comparing a lot of the time is just, it's a game of, it's a messy game. There's no stability in it. There's no, unless we're doing it for actually inspiration and we're comparing ourselves to others in a way where we're using that as inspiration, and we're actually taking the steps to better our lives by looking at what other people are doing that's good for them, and reflecting that back within us, and actually using that as a lesson. But that's rarely ever how comparison is used. A lot in this day and age, it's a lot just comparing out of that lack and that unworthiness and feelings of not good enough. And a lot of it is just building awareness of what your thoughts are saying in your everyday life, because so many times we just don't even notice what our thoughts are rambling on, and it's just behind the scenes, it's building up that power in that unconscious shadow within us, and we're giving more power to that. So when we start to bring light to that, we take our power back, and we find that we are inherently worthy, and we remove all those false beliefs of unworthiness and not being good enough, and we stop looking externally for validation, and we stop looking externally for people to validate our experience and make us feel worthy. We actually see that worthiness within us after we've worked out and cleared out all that unconscious side of us that's rooted in unworthiness and lack. So hopefully this meant something to someone that actually made it through the video. Appreciate you for watching. Cheers, just sitting in my tree, by the way. I'm a weird little fellow, aren't I? I'm a weird specimen. Not really, man. This is the best thing you can do to yourself, man. Sitting in a tree and guiding other people. So hopefully this has guided someone. Hopefully this means something to someone. Alright, I'll leave it there. See ya.